All right, party people. So, all right, party people. So we got this tank back together. So yesterday, or the day before that, I filled this. I put this 1 gallon of evaporust in this tank. It actually wasn't too rusty. It was more of, it had a full tank of gas probably, and all that gas turned down into varnish, into sludge, and it was probably about this thick of sludge on the bottom. But long story short, we let that sit for 24 hours, kept shaking it around, and then that's, you know, non-toxic and water-based. So you just rinse it out with water, and then, so I put a little more than a gallon of gas. The gasoline will seal it from rusting, and then, so I got the new petcock, cleaned off the sender, and then I just put a hose on that vent just in case. But I've been out here for about an hour now messing with the CRF 50, and this thing hasn't leaked or anything. The gas cap works now. You know, I drilled that hole. The new gas cap I got, this has 5 bolts. The new one came with 7. It had 1, 2, 1, 2, and which it would bolt in, but this rubber ring, it's fitted for the 5. So, you know, it wouldn't have this rubber ring to seal the cap, so that was no good. So look at this. Boom, gas cap opens now. Oh yeah, there's gas down there. Oh, I forgot to get the flashlight. Let me get the flashlight. No wait, I got it in my pocket. I don't know if we could see in there, but there's gas. Oh, I do see some sediment. The gas, it's gonna break up some stuff too, whatever that other stuff didn't get. But let me stand this thing up on end. This first gallon of gas, we're just probably gonna drain most of it out just to see. You know, we're not gonna put this onto the carburetor until it's draining fresh fuel. Hold on a second. Oh no, I need to insert. Okay. Oh, that's right. Patience, patience. Okay. Now we can see in there without any gas blocking it. But let's go this way. You see that? That little, what you seeing on the top left there, it's the beginning of the sender, that black plastic. And then around that nut, you can see it's still loosening up some schmegma. But look, bare metal. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is let this gas sit and keep shaking it around. And then drain out this gas, and then we're going to put fresh gas again. And then, like I said, we got 2 fuel filters, so we'll run it through, you know, and we'll run another tank of gas or 2 with the new fuel filter, and then swap out that filter after that, and by then it should be good and clean. You know, just in case there's any residual left over, it will catch it by then. But yeah, the gas cap works, everything's working. When we plug it in, we'll find out if the sender's working, but I don't think it is gonna, because I think whatever contacts were on there to actually meet up with the circuit board have corroded away. But we're getting there. We're going in the right direction. I'm happy about that. That's the worst part of all these, is always it's just cleaning the tank. So we'll drain this, get some more fresh gas, put it on the bike with that new fuel filter, and then start it up. And then after it runs, we'll change the oil and do the front brakes, and then we'll take it for a ride. We're almost there. But that'll be it for now. Clean up my mess. Oh, on this thing, I had the adjustable triple tree with the bigger bars, the rear handbrake with the 50 stump bracket. I had $150 foot pegs on there, and still everybody wants to lowball you, so I just put it all back to stock, and I'm just gonna sell it cheaper like that, and I'll sell those parts separate for someone else that wants to make a 50 a big bar bike. But yeah, I did all that to this because I wanted a little bike to just mess around on, and then I got an even better deal on this 110, and I rather the 110, so we're gonna sell this. But I'm gonna go in the garage and start getting the bike ready after I clean up this mess. I think tonight I'll be able to fire that up at least and see if it runs. So I'll get back at you. So I got the tank on here. We got the fresh gas in there. We're about to, you know, bleed this line, the pump with the new filter. Just make sure that's good. Then we're gonna let gas flow into the carbs. And then before I even try to start it, I'm gonna drain the carb in case it washed any stuff in there. And then we're gonna try to fire it up. So I was all ready to go and start this thing up, you know, at about 8:30, but now it's 10 o'clock because this guy finally messaged me back for this R6. And I had to go scoop this thing up. 2004 R6. Oh, what the hell is it leaking everywhere? What is that, oil? Oh man, I think I got hosed on this bike. Okay, it's a new day. We're gonna get this running today. I couldn't help myself. Last night I started taking this apart. I wanted to get this triple tree off to free up that ignition. I've never actually had one of these locked, the steering locked, and trying to remove the triples. Apparently you can't remove this triple tree when the lock is engaged. It just gets to a certain point and it's just stuck now. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill this out. It's already messed up. We're gonna have to replace it anyway, so I'm just gonna start drilling it to free it up. So we'll start with that. Alright gang, the new battery showed up today. I got the new battery in. I'm gonna turn the fuel on. I had kind of primed the fuel line and blew out. You know, look, this would have went right into the carb if, you know, we didn't blow out the line first. But let's see. So we got the fuel on. Definitely gonna give it some starter fluid to help it get going. Alright, let's see if we can get it to run. That's definitely just on the starter fluid. We were trying to get these carburetors primed up with fuel. Alright, let's give it some more starter fluid. Yeah, just gotta keep working the fuel up there. You gotta get the motor to vacuum to start pulling the fuel. Well, actually, no, it's got a fuel pump, but still. Together if the carbs aren't leaking or anything. Alright, it's turned off. Let's wait a minute and see if it refire it. If it starts up again on its own, I'll put the airbox back on because we're not going to have to be hitting it with the starter juice no more. Ah, yeah, dude. But I really want to finish this so I can start working on this. I hate having like a whole bunch of stuff apart. Yeah, like I said, I'm beating the crap out of the ignition and having no luck, so we're going to take the whole front off so we can drill it off. I've never had it like stuck with the steering lock like that, but that's a whole nother story. We're working on this right now. Alright, let's see. Key on. Kill switch on. Nothing. What happened? I think the switch, I might have to clean the switch. The kill switch? Or this is what happened last night. And I didn't even really change anything last night. Oh, last night I was pretty confident it was the booster pack was no good. Now it's gonna start. I heard some clicking and clacking. Look at that, baby! This is definitely a runner. Cool, I'm gonna put the airbox and all that stuff back together. I don't know if we can see in there, we got a little, you see that? Oh, you just saw a drip. That coolant line is leaking. Let's see if we can take that apart and clean that and get that to stop leaking. But dang, we got a runner! Oh, it's leaking more now that I touched it. Oh, leave that rag in there for now. Yeah, I'm gonna put this airbox back on. Oh, I'm excited about this. Okay, we got the airbox all tight. I was really dreading putting this airbox back on, you know, getting the boot on 4 carburetors at the same time. Sometimes on these dirt bikes, even on one, it's hard. But it's actually designed pretty well. It slipped right on there. We got all of our vacuum and vent hose. We just got to connect these two as we bring the tank down. I just wiped it down quick. We got the side covers on. I'm gonna have to lift this tank back up again to fix that coolant leak, but I kind of just want to put it all back together for now and mess with this bike, and then come back and do the brakes, the coolant leak, and then change the oil. Oh, and we need a master link for the chain, but we're almost done with this. At least the hard part's done. After this, it's all like regular maintenance. So I'm gonna pop this tank down, wipe down under the seat there, mount the battery, and yeah, it's starting to look like a complete bike again, and not such a project. Cool beans. All right, gang. I let this thing cool down a little bit. We got the tank on, the seats on, all the side covers. So it's all back together, batteries tight, all that good stuff. So now what's left is change the oil, get a new master link, put on the new chain. I saw that coolant leak when I fired it up. Fix that coolant leak, and then fix the front brakes. He had one of the pucks out of the caliper, so just because everybody's nice, I always give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I don't care how nice somebody is. You got to look at every bike and just treat it like they're trying to get over on you, because most time, even as nice as they are, people don't like losing money. So the story with this bike was the guy said he took apart the front brakes to do the front brakes and had a problem, and that's why it was sitting. And then from sitting 8 years, that's when he came into the problem with the tank and all the fuel. But then he said it had new tires done, and then you can see the back was ridden on, but the front, look at the front, it still even has the nubbies. But then I saw, boom, the rim is hit. So what happened is this guy must have ran up a curb or something right after getting new tires, bent the rim, ruined the tire, got a replacement tire, and then when he took this off, he says, hey, let me do the front brakes. Messed up one of the calipers, but I think this wheel is on backwards, because when I did that, I started with that caliper and it seemed like it was more to one side, pulling the pads to one side. And then when you go to do this side, the caliper and the, you know, like you can get, the caliper only fits if you take the brake pad out. Like there's not enough room between the rotor and that. So either something's bent or the wheel's on backwards. And somebody took this tire off and then put it back on because it's never been ridden on yet. So I think this guy put the wheel on backwards, and then, you know, when you're out here working and it's over 100 degrees out, it's easy to make mistakes and get fired up. So I think this wheel is on backwards, and that's what's keeping the front brakes. Being that puck was out of that caliper and it was open, I bought a good used set of calipers in case there is an issue with the calipers. And I was missing these little pins. These are actually off my RC car body, just for temporary, but that used set has everything I need. So we're gonna fix the coolant leak, fix the brakes, change the oil, new chain, and then this thing will be all ready to rock. So it's been sitting, it cooled down. Let's see if this thing just fires up on its own like it should now. So we got key on, kill switch on, nothing. What is up with that? There's something in the switch, I can hear it buzzing around. Definitely some dielectric putting the contacts in there. Turn this idle up a little bit. Ah, look at that, the thing fires right up though, that idle, this is sick.